The Security Council heard two very different arguments about the situation in Eastern Europe. The US, which called this meeting, says the Russian military build-up around Ukraine is the largest mobilization of troops in Europe in decades.
Russia's aggression today not only threatens Ukraine, it also threatens Europe. It threatens the international order this body is charged with upholding. We continue to hope Russia chooses the path of diplomacy over the path of conflict in Ukraine. But we cannot just wait and see.
But Russia's ambassador, Vasily Nebenzia, says all his country's troops are on Russian soil. They're not close to the Ukrainian border, and there's absolutely no proof of a threat from them.
MEPs are warning that Viktor Orban's meeting with Vladimir Putin on Tuesday could put the EU's joint policy on Russia at risk. In light of Moscow's military build-up at Ukraine's border, the trip could be seen as a show of support for Putin's aggressive policies by an EU member state. But Orban insists the talks are necessary to get more cheap gas from Russia. Last week, EU foreign ministers sent a warning to President Putin that Russia will face economic sanctions if they attack Ukraine. As a sign of support, the European Parliament has sent a delegation to Kiev, with one MEP warning Orban he should not risk EU unity.
And just as the pressure really rises, Boris Johnson is getting out of the country. He's headed to Ukraine.
Well, it's one of the oldest tricks in the book, Mark, a politician embedding himself in a global problem when there is trouble at home. The British Prime Minister missed a planned phone conference with Russian President Vladimir Putin last night. He flies into Kiev in the coming hours and will meet with the Ukrainian president to try to help plan how to stop Russian troops invading this country on edge. His visit comes after the United Nations became involved and Russia accused the US of beating the drums of war.
Yes, the military has moved in recent days and arrested a series of people who said they would support today's silent strike. They were shop owners, they were even an astrologer, and they'd said they were not going to do business today. The military has threatened people who were supporting today's silent strike that they would be charged with counter-terrorism charges, with supporting the resistance, and could face very lengthy prison sentences. But the powerful images that are coming out from the country today on social media that we're seeing are indeed empty streets.
A dramatic report in the Lebanese Al Akhbar newspaper claiming that the Lebanese Information Branch, the counterterrorism unit of Lebanon's internal security forces, uncovered 15 Israeli spy networks operating throughout the country, going on to specify a breach of the information branch itself in a location close to its leadership, a breach of Hezbollah by recruiting one of its members from a southern town to spy in Syria, a Syrian national allegedly providing photographs of roads and maps in Damascus to the Israelis, workers from influential NGOs in Lebanon, a spy on Hamas activities in refugee camps allegedly involved in the explosion in Bur el-Shamali east of Tyre back in December, and an engineer building a communications network in Beirut.
The announcement was made on national television and signaled the latest escalation in tensions between France and Mali.
The French ambassador in Bamako, His Excellency Joel Mayer, has been summoned by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. During this exchange, he was told about the decision taken by the government to ask him to leave the country within 72 hours.
Bamako said the decision to expel France's ambassador was in response to, quote, hostile and insulting comments made by the French Foreign Affairs Minister. Jean-Yves Le Drian last week condemned the forced withdrawal of Danish troops, part of a joint European mission to fight jihadism in the region.
The CEO of oil giant Total met with Mozambique's President Nyusi on Monday. French Patrick Pouyanné's visit aimed at relaunching a gas production project suspended last year. Following a jihadist attack in March 2021, Total halted operations at a site exploring a major gas field in northern Mozambique. The gas project was worth more than $15 billion, but the gas-rich Cabo Delgado province has been battered by a jihadist insurgency since 2017.
Vava Suresh, Kerala's famous snake catcher, was hospitalized after being bitten by a cobra on January 31. The 47-year-old, famous for handling and rescuing snakes, was trying to catch a cobra at a house in Kurichi village in Kottayam district when he suffered the snake bite. A video shot by a local resident showed the moment when Suresh got bitten by the snake. The video showed Suresh putting the cobra inside a gunny bag when it bit him above the knee. The locals took him to a private hospital. As per hospital officials, Suresh was unconscious when he was brought in and was administered with anti-venom immediately. Suresh rose to fame in Kerala for always promptly responding to calls from people who spotted snakes in their homes and backyards. In 2015, Suresh had caught more than 38,000 snakes and received more than 3,000 snake bites until then.